Good morning, guys. How are you? Today we will go to the next part in the SDG series that we started last time. So today's topic will be SDG number 7, and that is the clean energy. Clean, or we can say affordable, something we can afford, we can buy affordable and clean energy. Okay, so let's proceed. Okay, so now uh, everything that we interact with, everything that we use, we needs energy. So some form of energy. But what would happen if the world ran out of energy? So if we ran out of electricity, for example, what would happen? You wouldn't be able to use the air conditioner, even if it is a very hot summer month, nor you would be able to cook a delicious meal uh, on your stove because you need gas. So we are talking about all these sources of energy that we take for granted now. We think it is normal for the gasoline to be available, normal for gas to be available, but these are non-renewable, non-renewable sources of energy. Okay? There is a limit to how much you can use. Uh, and as the even now, for example, as the world's population is going to be almost 8 billion, more than a billion people in Africa, in parts of Asia, and also in America, Latin America, they go without energy. They do not have energy for their homes. So it's a very serious problem. So scientists, they think and they believe that we will run out of our main source of energy, which is fossil fuels, petrol, diesel, so gas, within this century. So within another 80 years or so, we will run out of. We will be, we will deplete these sources of energy. Therefore, securing energy is so important that it has even been the cause of several conflicts. Something must change. Now, it is estimated that more than 1 billion people in developing countries are living without a dependable or reliable source of energy, electricity. So these people, because they have no electricity, then these people they have to burn wood and coal for heating and cooking, leaving them with the dirty air, polluted air, and no light after it becomes dark. So, meanwhile, in the developed countries or rich countries, enormous amounts of fossil fuels, enormous means plentiful amounts of fossil fuels are burned for people to have comfortable lives. And that pollutes the air and greatly contributes to climate change. For both the developed as well as the developing countries, this way of life is not sustainable. It is not going to last forever. It will definitely end, and it will end quite soon. We must therefore seek out alternative energy sources. Now, clean energy or energy that is renewable, you keep getting it, it does not finish and it does not produce any harmful emissions, offers the solutions to the energy problems faced by all countries. So, what is renewable energy or what is clean energy? So, Let's look at that. In developing countries, biomass energy is becoming a reliable energy source. Biomass, because it makes use of abundant animal and plant materials. So animal waste, for example, plants which have been cut down and which have been converted into, like, fertilizer type of a thing. So these things can be used to create energy. So for instance, solar biomass stoves, solar and biomass. So it's like a hybrid stove. It can cleanly heat. It can provide heat. It can cook, and it can also generate or produce electricity. And these are now being produced, and they offer a renewable and affordable energy source to millions of people. Meanwhile, in developed countries, clean energy sources like wind, solar, and geothermal energy are becoming more common. Clean energy provides 40% or more of some European countries' energy needs or energy requirements. In Japan, on the other hand, it is still heavily dependent on fossil fuels, which account for roughly 75% of its energy consumption. In addition, coal accounts for roughly 40% of Japan's fossil fuel output, despite emitting more CO2 than any other fossil fuel. Uh, So it is surprising that Japan, which has a large number of nuclear power plants which use nuclear energy, uh, or which produce electricity from nuclear fission or energy, we still have like more than 40% of the Japan's fossil fuel output is based on uh, coal, coal which pollutes the air. And it is not clean. It is not clean energy. So nuclear energy might offer one possible solution, but then its safety is being debated, everywhere. Uh, Following the Chernobyl nuclear accident that was in the 1980s, now already 40 years ago, and also following the 2011 disaster in Fukushima in Japan. So no matter how difficult, we must reduce our reliance on fossil fuels. So even if it looks difficult, we must try to reduce, or we have to reduce our dependence on fossil fuels and create a new reality with clean energy. It is our collective responsibility to minimize or to reduce the harm to the environment and preserve the earth for future generations and our children and grandchildren. So recently in Japan, there has been a movement towards creating a recycling-oriented society. So recycling is a good concept in Japan, which has been quite successful to some extent. So this movement aims to reduce single-use plastics. So single-use plastics are like the plastic shopping bags which we receive when we buy groceries or something, and we just throw them away after single use. And other types of waste in our daily lives. We must reduce single-use type of plastic bags and other types of waste in our daily lives. It also encourages us to think more deeply about the environment and our energy needs, and to adjust our lifestyles accordingly. So this recycling movement in Japan, it also encourages us to think more seriously about our lifestyles. So if our lifestyle is wasteful, what does wasteful mean here? It means it wastes a lot of energy. So examples include using public transportation or ride sharing instead of driving, installing solar panels on our homes, and pressuring local governments to create bicycle paths. So some of the examples of lifestyle savings, that you can save through your through changes in your lifestyle. So that is some of these things. For example, include reducing the use of your car for transportation. You can use public transportation like a train or something like that. You can do ride sharing, share a ride rather than go to office by car alone, and installing solar panels on our homes. So if we install solar panels on the roof of our homes, we can generate enough electricity to power our home requirements. And if we pressure our local governments to create bicycle paths, then perhaps more and more people will be encouraged to use a bicycle to work. So right now, for example, many people do not use bicycles, maybe because you have to share you have to share your bicycle on the road with other traffic, let's say fast-moving traffic like cars or trucks and so on. And that sounds very, very dangerous because you are on the same road that all these uh, fast-moving traffic is moving. And everybody loves their own dear life, and they don't want to be involved in an accident by using or by sharing the same road. So if there is an additional bicycle path, perhaps many more people will be encouraged to use bicycle uh, for either going to your job or for shopping or for something. So by being more mindful of our current energy use, how we use energy, that we are, by being mindful that we don't waste it, that we shouldn't waste it unnecessarily, and to keep in mind our future energy needs, how much we would need in the future, we can create a clean environment to enjoy for many, many years to come. So by doing all these things, we can create a cleaner environment, a more healthier environment, not only for us, but also for other people who are not so fortunate and whose share of energy use has been minimal so far. Okay, so this brings us to the end of our topic today, and I hope you liked it, and you can also get additional material on this topic on YouTube. Okay, so thank you very much, and I will see you again next time with another topic. Bye bye.